What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Passage RDA. Alright guys, so the random question of the day is, would you rather eat anything you want and never gain an ounce, or be morbidly obese but have unlimited money? I'm gonna go with morbidly obese because, well, let's face it, I'm not that far off anyways, but when you have unlimited money, you can do so many more things than just being skinny. I mean, you can just buy your own helicopter and have it fly you around the world, whereas if you're just skinny, that's just pretty much it. You look good. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comment section below, would you rather eat anything you want and never gain an ounce, or be morbidly obese but have unlimited money? So today we're going to be taking a look at the Passage RDA, a project by Suck My Mod and Hellvape, with a big huge shout out and thank you going to Hellvape for allowing me to take a look at one of these devices for the purpose of making this video. So there's a lot of really interesting things about this Passage RDA that we'll get into later on in this video. One of them that I find most interesting is the AG Plus antimicrobial antibacterial drip tip. I think that's really cool, and I think it's a really great idea that Hellvape is doing this now, and it's just one of those little tiny minor details that you wouldn't normally think about, but it ends up being ingenious. So taking a quick look online, this device comes in 9 different color options for you to choose from, including blue, shiny black, purple, matte black, rainbow, gunmetal, stainless steel, black with white logo, and gold, and it's going to run you about 35 bucks if you wanted to grab one for yourself. And if you do, make sure you check out the link I've got on my website. Link to that will be right down there in the description below. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, so as you can see, we've got our Passage RDA in its original box, so let's quickly take a look around the packaging, then we'll talk about what's inside. So, first and foremost, lovely picture of the device right there. We've got the AG Plus with embossed silver for the drip tip, and the Hellvape with a nice embossed red. On this side here, we've got the Hellvape logo, little scratch and check, and some social media info. On this side here, we have some of the main specs for the device, as you can see right there. And on the back, we have our usual stuff. We've got some main features, we've got the contents of the box and company information, as well as the UPC and color indication right there. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we get inside the box. Opening it up, we've got the Passage itself. So there is your Passage RDA. We'll take a better look at that in just a second here. Let's get into the box of goodies. We have a whole bunch of stuff here. Okay, so this one contains some O-rings, a 510 drip tip adapter, a clear frosted drip tip, an 810, as well as some spare grub screws, the flathead grub screws. And this one has a couple of tools. You've got a screwdriver and an Allen key. And, yeah, you also get a pin. Now, this is the flat pin. This is the standard non-squonk pin. You'll get a squonk pin in the bag of parts. This is what came installed in it. I just have my squonk pin installed currently. But with that, let's just take a look underneath. We've got a little Passage sticker too. So you get a sticker right there in the box, and you get a user manual. So let's see. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna complain about the fold-out manual. Hammond and Han, you know me. It's black and white. You know, they have color on this thing. They could have done a full color, but they chose not to, which is kind of unfortunate. But you got your standard stuff right there. Not that you really need a user manual with an RDA, but that is what's in the box. All right, guys, let's talk about the specs. First of all, it's 24 millimeters at the base, 25 millimeters at the widest point. It's got deep juice wells, superior stainless steel construction, knurled top cap, conical top cap, innovative airflow system, internal honeycomb airflow holes, tracked airflow control, individual airflow passages, 2 post-expansion build deck, top secured via flathead screws, floating and tracked separation block per post to help install uneven coils, peak insulated throughout, dual coil configuration. It comes with an 810 AG Plus antimicrobial antibacterial drip tip, as well as an 810 frosted PMMA drip tip, and it has a 510 SPF squonk pin and a gold-plated 510 connection. Alright guys, so let's take a super close-up look at the parts of the Passage RDA, starting off with the AG Plus drip tip. As you can see right here, nothing super duper special about this 810 drip tip. It's got the standard bore going through the middle of it there, and of course matched on the bottom side. Just looks like your standard Hellvape tip. It really doesn't look like anything too special, except it says AG Plus right there, as you guys can see. It does have a bit of like a shimmer to it. It's kind of like red with like a little sparkly shimmer, but that's about it. That's really all I can see from just the outside. I would love to see kind of like a lab sample test of this thing to show that it's antimicrobial, but I guess we'll have to wait and see about that. Moving right along, we've got an O-ring on the inside of the top cap there that holds onto any old drip tip that you pop in there. Boom, just like that. Nice and firm, no wiggle or wobble or anything, which is really nice. It's actually a little bit difficult to get out. So going around the rim of the airflow control section, we have some knurling going on here. This allows you to adjust your airflow very easily, and with that, if you have to remove it, it's just that easy as well. As you can see here, we have the actual airflow control with the honeycomb pattern down at the bottom there of these 3 little slots, and on the inside here we have kind of a ramped airflow, I guess you could say. It's not quite domed, it's not circular at all, it's kind of like a ramp or a chamfer, if you will, and as well as the honeycomb pattern on the inside as well. Hopefully you guys can see that. So there's nothing super duper special about the barrel section other than this little Passage logo engraved right there. Very subtle engravings, it's not too deep at all, and this cap here does have this little kind of jut out right there at the bottom to match with the top cap section. Here you can see the airflow slots right through the middle there. Of course, that is dual airflow, and you also have the cap locking system right there. There's that little tab that locks into place on the build deck, which you'll see momentarily. So here you can see the build deck with my build still in it. These are actually some Hellvape coils that they sent along with this thing for me to test out, and I gotta say, performance has been pretty darn good. These are triple 28 core with 36 outer wrap wire, and I gotta say, really nice performance on these coils. These Hellvape pre-mades that they sent along right there, as you can see, really good quality. I'm very happy with them. So if you get a chance, try those out. But otherwise, I just wanted to show you guys exactly how I had this thing built up during my testing process. So here you can see the actual build deck itself with no coils in it. These 2 little middle slider pieces move up and down, and they're top secured via these flat-headed screws. You can also see the squonk pin right in the middle there, and I definitely have something to say about that, but we'll get into that a little bit later on in this video. You can see the whole thing in the middle is raised up off of the juice well ever so slightly, and we have a nice deep juice well as well for your wicking material to go down into. This build deck is just so nice. I really like it because it's got these little slider things. They move very freely, and they move right out of the way of your coils if necessary. You just slide it right in, tighten them down with the 2 screws, and that's pretty much it. You just trim them off, which is very easily done because each little lead is separated off. So very easy to build on this thing, and these O-rings are really nice as well. On the bottom section here, you can see some engravings. It says, in collaboration with Suck My Mod, Passage, and Hellvape right there, as well as the gold-plated squonk pin in this case that does protrude ever so slightly. So that's what I've got for you guys in this close-up section. Let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of the video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting off with the pros, my first pro is the smoothness of the airflow. Now it's not the quietest airflow in the world, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, but it is still very smooth considering how much the airflow bounces around inside the passageway, comes in, down, and over. You still get a nice smooth draw off of this thing. My second pro today is the post design itself. I really like the post on this one because it reminds me of kind of a reborn version of the Velocity style, whereas you don't have to cross over your legs of your coils when you're building on this thing. It's super easy to trim off your excess wire, and you only have 1 screw on each terminal to worry about. So with that, super easy to build. That little middle bit keeps your wires separated, and the wire itself will just kind of ride up over the top of it because it's rounded on the edges. So just really ingenious post design overall. Very well done, Matt. I really applaud you for that one. My third pro for this one is the O-ring and screw tolerances. Now typically I have very high standards when it comes to my O-rings and screws, and I'm usually let down, whereas this one here, love the screws on it, very nice and solid feeling. I can really wrench on them and they're not going to give up on me. With the O-rings, they passed all of my O-ring tests. I can hold it by the top cap and wiggle it, still holds fine. I can even hold it just by the airflow control, and as well as the just drip tip. This is just the drip tip I'm holding on to now, and it's passing my O-ring test. So very well done, Hellvape. I just really can't believe it. And for my fourth and final pro for this one, it's basically leak proof. Now with this top-ish airflow that Matt designed on this RDA, it's really difficult to get this to leak because you can over squonk several times and it's still not going to go all the way up the walls. If you over squonk it a couple times or over drip on it and you leave it on its side, yeah, some might come out of there, but with that, it's very, very difficult to get this thing to leak, which I really love because I can squonk on this thing all day long and just throw it in my pocket and not have to worry about a pocket full of juice whenever I get to where I'm going. All right, guys, so moving on to the cons. My first con is that this little lip up here towards the airflow control ring can collect some e-liquid and it will get a little bit messy. Now, this only happens after you've been using it a little while, and with that, if you take your airflow control cap in and out all the time. It's very minor, and it only really affects people that have the matte black version. If you have a shiny version, you're probably not even going to notice it. My second con is the whistle. This thing has a very distinctive whistle while you're vaping on it. Real quick, I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. Hopefully you guys can hear that like I do. I notice it all the time when I'm vaping on it, and it's just this very, very high pitch and very constant, especially when I'm trying to take a huge rip off of it and get a big cloud. That's when I notice it the most. If you're just softly pulling on it, I feel like it's not going to happen as much, so that kind of leads me to believe that this one is not really meant for the cloud chaser. I would have to say you want to do smaller pulls with this one here and not do huge comp rips like I do. And my third and final con is that the squonk pin should have gone out the sides rather than just straight up the middle. Now, I complain about this a lot, especially because when it comes time to fill up your bottle, if you have almost nothing left in your squonk bottle, you squeeze it, and as you guys probably just saw there, I just shot juice all over my studio, and that's exactly the problem that I'm trying to address here. You know, I guess it's pure laziness on my side because I could just fill up my squonk bottle and everything would be fine, but sometimes you just don't have that luxury and you're just trying to squeeze the last couple of drops out of your bottle, and that happens. So Matt or Hellvape, if you watch this video, please do something to address this because you might end up ruining someone's day. So at the end of the day, is this device worth purchasing? Would I go out of my way to pick one of these up if I didn't get this one in for review? To be perfectly honest with you guys, I'm really on the fence about this one for me personally. I absolutely love the post design on this one here, but the airflow just really isn't quite enough for me. I want to be able to get a little bit more of a full lung experience with this one, and right now I'm just not getting that without that really loud whistle. But with that, I would recommend this one to you guys out there looking for a virtually leak-proof, very good flavor RDA that's easy to build, and the price is right, of course. If you guys want to pick one up, I'll have a link on my website. Link to that is right down there in the description below. But that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Leave your comments in the box below and check out the links I've got down there in the description. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on. I have juice all over me.